Hey, good morning. I'm Grady on the charts, and today is Tuesday, April 29th, and we're on the NASDAQ. Hey guys, like and subscribe if it's your first time here to my channel. I hope you guys have enjoyed some of the shorter video content that I have, but you guys here for the live stream. Um, this morning definitely going to be on the E-mini NASDAQ once again. We've had some ups and downs last week, but we've been able to recover, and that's the good news. Hopefully today's market was going to be able to provide us with a lot of opportunities for us to make a little bit of profit, make a little bit of progress on our combine and on our trading account. Let's go ahead and see if we can pop over here and take a look at the news. Let's see if we can take a quick look at the news. Hey, good morning. I'm Grady on the charts, and perfect. All right. So let's see here. Jolts at 10 a.m. We have European news from Denmark. We have some Chinese news coming out just a little bit later, or a little bit later, a lot later, like tonight. Okay. Well, so we have Jolt at 10 a.m. All right. So because we have that news coming out at 10 a.m., I'm going to be very careful not to try to get into any trades prior to that time, but to really kind of hold off and see what we have before then. It's 9:28 a.m. We're going to go ahead and pop over and take a look quickly at what we have on the higher time frame. On our higher time frame charts, this is what we see starting right over here on the 4-hour time frame. What I'm looking for is where the bodies are closing in relationship to the rest of the bodies. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll jump up to the daily chart. On the daily chart, we were not able to close above this up close candle here. So that's a signal for us to be aware of here. The daily up close, and let's lock that in there. All right. Once we came up close to this daily up close, we put several wicks up here, and we put 2 wicks into the wick of this up close candle, and then we reject it. Okay, so we're going to definitely keep an eye on that. Then we're going to drop down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, now we see that these areas that we consider wicks are the bodies of our current up close 4-hour candles. They're inside of the body of this up close candle. If we were to consider this let's call it a bearish order block, then we would look at the body of this candle like this, and we would consider this level the mean threshold, right? So we've closed in the discount and we pulled out of the body range of this up close candle. Excuse me. But sometimes we'll see that even on the lower time frames, we'll have up close candles on the lower time frame that we would need to trade to if we were going to reject. So the question is also, what if we're going to push through, right? So that's why we're watching this imbalance here. We're watching this imbalance right here, just in case we decide to push through. Market just opened, so we're gonna go ahead and hop over there in just a couple of seconds. In the pre-market, we had a 15-minute imbalance that we traded to, right to the low of this 1-hour up open candle, and then we dropped down. I really didn't anticipate seeing this happen before the market opened. So that's kind of an issue. On the higher time frame, we have this imbalance. I think I want to remove this. This is a small area that we were trading to yesterday. It was a significant zone. If you watch ICT's review, he pointed that out. It was an area of interest that he wanted us to keep an eye on. I'm watching this hourly candle as we drop low into the discount of this gap, and with 29 minutes left, we've begun to pull away from that area. Now, as well, I'm watching this area to see whether or not we would invert this area to move higher. But again, I'm kind of pressing and I'm kind of rushing right now, but I'm still having in my mind the 10 a.m. news that we have coming out. Where will we be at 10 a.m. and then where will that news send us? So that's the thing that I have on my that I'm really more concerned about right now, and not necessarily the opening range or everything that's happening off the open. Hmm. My voice is just a little bit. Hmm, it's I'm struggling with my voice just a little bit, and all of the allergy sufferers out there know how I'm feeling. It just you just wake up one day and all of a sudden your voice wants to do something different, right? I think I want to do something different here too. I want to move this here just off, just out of the way, just a little bit more. All right, let me lock it down. All right, just want to be able to see all of the action of the candle here on the 5 minute. Even if we can't see the pricing, we'll still be able to see the candle on the five. So it is not lost on me that it's possible that this could be the beginning of a longer move to the downside. That we just ran up to make contact and close the market structure associated with the higher time frame up close candle. Correct? Okay. That's a possibility. And the next possibility, probability, is that at this point, we've just dropped down into the higher time frame 1 hour gap because as we can see on the higher time frame, we have this sort of stair stepping of the down close candles as we're moving up. And we would have to think of this as a high resistance on the higher time frame. On the lower time frame, we have the ranges to move back and forth as we please. But on the higher time frame, we're moving up and then price is sending us back. We're moving up and the price is sending us back. So it's a wide range consolidation that's giving us as traders enough range to operate and move and make profit. But at the same time, it is also constrained on the higher time frame, if that makes sense. So right now, I'm not gonna really get too deep into that. I'm gonna slide my focus over to the lower time frame and see what we have going on. So here we are on the 5 minute, and this gap that ICT marked out as an area of interest that we had traded to yesterday, and then in the Asian session, and in the London session, we traded to it twice. We turned right over on that level, and we traded right back up to it, right off the open for today. Okay, well, if you're a teacher, you're a teacher. I'm not a teacher. This is trading entertainment, but ICT is definitely a teacher of price action. So the things that he's showing us here are very interesting. Excuse me. So we retrace to this level, but we on the one on the ooh, we. I'm speaking a little bit faster than my and everything I'm able to articulate, but I'm gonna try to keep up with price action as much as I can, so that I'll be able to see it and say it at the same time. How about that? Okay, this is a 1 minute chart. There are no gaps on the 1 minute chart as yet, so we're not really seeing any sort of gaps have formed yet. On the 5 minute chart, we just ran up above this level. We put a wick up, closed, and then we turned over and dropped down. The wick of this candle has touched the opening price of that up close candle before we kind of slid back to the downside. Now, all of this is happening in the first 5 minutes of the market opening. So the volatility at this point, that's the word I'm looking for. The volatility at this point is still extremely high. However, it could just be that the market has completely set up in the pre-market, and right now we're just watching as price begins sort of I hate to use the term collapse, but a one directional move to the downside is what I wanted to say. Now we traded into this area on the fives. Take this hourly gap away, take this away so we can see clearly. And I just wanted to focus on this area between this low and this high here. And what it is an imbalance on the 5 minute chart, right? So we traded all the way into the high premium and closed. Then we turned over and then we dropped down into the discount. Just Keeping eyes, just keeping an eye out. Just keeping an eye out. I'm not, as you can see, I'm not too eager to get involved in a trade right now. Not too eager to get involved in a trade right now. And that's very good. That's very good. I had a good day yesterday. If you checked out the other video I have, and I think I'll put a link to it somewhere, maybe in the description or something. But if you check out the video that I posted yesterday, this is a new trading account. I actually blew my old trading account because of that eagerness. And so one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to step away from that, and I wanted to kind of recalibrate, right? And one of the things that we can do always as traders is we can always take that step back, right? We can always take that step back and try to look at the market for what it is. As they say, when in doubt, zoom out. And a lot of times we don't really like to see it like that. You know, after we hit this imbalance and we hit the high of this and then we drop down, I really do feel like maybe this is a good opportunity to get short. Although I haven't taken the initiative to do that. I'm really watching the market. And again, as I said, for me, maybe my main concern is not to get too excited and too involved in looking and searching for entries prior to giving the market enough time to go through its volatility cycle, right? And this all sounds cool and great until I'm, staring at my reflection in my coffee, trying to figure out why I let 1,500 points go by and wasn't able to get involved in it at all. You see how we traded to the low of this up close candle on the 1 minute and then immediately rejected to the downside? That seems extremely heavy. Okay, now this is much lower than I had anticipated. Much lower. Now in the pre-market, it did give us this imbalance in the pre-market, and we just returned to its high. So this was offered in the pre-market. It's a lower low, and then there is this gap. I want to say it's good to be back. It's good to be back on the chart live streaming. I didn't live stream yesterday. I could really hardly breathe. I was completely congested, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but my voice is really kind of changed at the same time. So it's there's so much stuff going on where sinus pressure seems to alter my vision. I can kind of hardly see sometimes. And just coming into the live stream this morning, I admit I'm a little nervous, right? A little bit nervous. And I've started trying to start the live stream earlier so that by the time the market opens, I'll have gotten through a lot of that preliminary stuff because it's not like I've practiced it as much as I'm seeing it just at the same time you're seeing it, because most of us, we come to the market just like that, where we'll sit down, we'll take a look at the chart. And there we go. If you are coming to the chart like this and you're sitting down just moments before the market opens, I hope you can hear how rushed I am vocally. Now, I woke up, 6 in the morning. I've been looking at the charts all day. But for you, you could understand how rushed you would be. Try to interpret and understand the market activity. Wake up earlier. If you haven't found any profitability in the morning session, you will just need to wake up earlier. If you can't wake up earlier, then you're going to end up trading the evening session, right? And that's fine. That's good. Sometimes lately the evening session has been more stable and has better ranges. So, wake up earlier or come to the market. If you're saying I want to trade at 2, come to the market at 1. Give yourself all of that time to look at it and see what types of ranges that the market is offering. So while I'm talking, the market is has moved back to the upside, right back to that imbalance that we were made aware of last night, and then we turned over right inside of that 5 minute gap, and then we stopped right here at sort of that consequent encroachment. So this was an inversion, right? This was an inversion, and we moved up to this point, which also seems to be an inversion. Now I am becoming more and more interested in determining where we're really going for the rest of the day. I'm very interested in determining where we're going for the rest of the day. On the higher time frame, we've seen many down close candles um break lows and close. At least on the 15-minute chart. On the hourly chart, we've broken down past two segments of down close candles. Um, so the idea of ideal idea and the possibility of being bearish for me is still not clear. And I think that the way I said that was not clear, that the way I stumbled through all those words, that should communicate to you how unclear that is to me. I was looking at the shorts all night long, thinking, oh yeah, well not all night long. As I looked at how we broke down below the London session, and then we put a wick into the London session discount, like it's making that discount premium. Then I said, oh myself, oh yeah, I believe the market is going to be heavy today. The second move pre-market into that 15-minute imbalance threw me off. I didn't think I was going to see that until during trading session today, which means that the market shifted to the downside in the pre-market. What I don't like about that is the idea that that could possibly mean that during our morning session that we have to watch price consolidate till 10:30, 11:30 before we would see the market be really finally say, oh, okay, I'm going to pick a direction and this is going to be the low resistance direction that I'm going to trade for the rest of the day. So that's my preamble to what I'm about to do next. So as we can see here on the 5 minute chart, there's a lot of stuff on this screen. I'm looking at this 1 hour down close, 1 hour down close, 1 hour down close. Is that necessary for us today? Let me take this and move this out the way because that's a beautiful thing. The 1 hour down close. Is the 1 hour down close going to be essential for us today? No, I would rather see this. The 1 hour up open, current one that's just before us, because I want to see whether or not it's going to give us any rejection. I also want to see the close of the previous 1 hour up close candle because I would like to see whether or not that's going to offer us any rejection. And then we are far below yesterday's high. And then we are literally at the equilibrium level between yesterday's high and yesterday's low. So we just roughly, I guess we'd say we're in premium low of that range. Premium low of that range. Okay. So hourly down close is also here. We'll bring this into focus. Why are we going to bring this into focus, right? Because if we're going to run out liquidity, we're going to run the liquidity out below the close of the prior down close hourly candle, right? That's going to be a significant area for us to look. It then just so happens that that level is right here. It just so happens that that area is right here. Boom. So we came up to the down close of the close of that prior down close candle. We dropped down below it. And we moved up above it. Okay. So the prior 1 hour candle is literally is this tight consolidation. The wick of that candle extends to here, and the tail of it is to here. But this range is the body of the prior up close candle. If it offers us any resistance or rejection, then that would be an area where we would say, oh, okay, right. Price might go down right here, right? So we tapped the low of that up close candle on the 5 minute chart. The 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the 5 minute candle. The time is 9:46 a.m. Now we're getting ready for the macro to begin. Sometimes when we look at the 9:45 a.m. Position, sometimes that's an indicator of where the macro would take us. Hmm. I haven't been able to read that one yet. Haven't really been able to read that one yet. So we still see that whether or not the macro is going to take us anywhere. This has been a fairly healthy move from the lows of the morning session. All right. So if is that could be our daily low, or this current area could be our daily high. So I'm not making any determinations. I'm not making any determinations right now. And yeah, I apologize. You see this imbalance right here inside of the body of this up close candle on the 1 minute chart. It's in the pre-market. In the pre-market. London session is here. There's the low of London. Okay. Delete this. Delete this. All of this consolidation is within that body. Okay, we passed through this area. So we kind of went up and then returned over. Now we went up above that level. And then this is that last gap that we formed before this move down in the pre-market before trading began today. It traded just to the low of that. Now these levels represent the body of that prior up close candle, which means that this area is in the wick of that prior up close candle. Mm. That's very interesting. 9:48, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Very, very interesting. 2 minutes before the macro begins, a minute and 15 seconds. Okay. My consideration is taking this high into this imbalance on the 5 minute chart. Um, there's consequent encroachment of that small pre-market imbalance. We just tapped into it. I just needed to pull in just a little bit more air because I've begun to consider whether or not this is the entry. I did not necessarily target this entry. However, I am looking at the idea that we are have created a sort of a swing high into this imbalance on the 15-minute chart. The more I deliberate, the more I think about it, the more time is passing by, and the more I'm getting the sensation that while I'm measuring and judging, I am doing that process too slowly, measuring and judging too slowly. That is that news that we were looking at. Well, the news is coming out at 10 a.m., right? So I was saying, do not do not get into a trade before 10 a.m. But the temptation was still there, wasn't it? The idea and the concept still crossed my mind even after I made that pre-trade determination. Don't enter the trade before 10 a.m., right? So 950 macro starts, and then we run out the high inside that gap, the one that I just determined. This is what I was talking about on the 5 minute, this imbalance here. I'll just have to clarify. Actually, I think I'm going to go here to there and then pull that forward. Now we can touch the opening prices of these up close candles. That's probably permissible. Is there anywhere to run above that? No. That's a decent push into the discount of London session. We tap that level, we drop down. All of these candles are touching the low of this up close candle on the lower time frame. And I'm just making a note of that. Just making a note of that. All of these candles are just trading directly to the body of this down close candle. Making a note of that. Very tight range. However, we push to the upside and then we snap right back. Now, is that a rejection of that level, or is that an indication that that's the direction that we're going? Well, on the lower time frames, it's going to give us a lot more data than we can probably deal with. On the higher time frame, we're looking at this 5 minute candle that's just broken down below the high of the current previous 5 minute candle. What time is the news coming out? The news is coming out in 8 minutes. If it's a long push today and it trades one direction for the rest of the day, let's ask ourselves a question. Do we want to front run it with a lot of drawdown? Or, I mean, it's 9:52. What the the news the news isn't out. Well, news is out. No, no, this move seems to be front running the news as it is. As it is. So we ran here, we touched that level, turned over, we dropped right back down. Okay, so where could we be going? Where could we be going for 10 a.m.? Where would we be at 10 a.m.? La di dee dee la di da di da. Where could we end up at 10 a.m.? Is this a fair value gap right here, guys? Did I miss this? Because I pulled forward some sort of a pre-market 5 minute imbalance. Right, because I said, oh yeah, we're going to invert this 5 minute gap. The inversion of that 5 minute gap gave us this small imbalance. Pull that forward, bump the levels on it. I just don't want to front run the news. Even as this macro began, it kind of created this sort of, it created an excitement for me. I'm visually reactive, right? Because I'm visually reactive when I see those candles flicker and flash, psychologically, many people like myself would be engrossed in the visual spectacle. You like that? We just traded up to the low of this candle, and then we turned over, drop down. I don't have enough information to move forward right now. Mm. 9:54. I had such a good day yesterday that not trading today is truly and fully acceptable. Truly and fully acceptable. That's how good yesterday was. So does that mean I do not want to trade today for fear of giving back profits? Yep, and that's good. Why? Because I'm not crazy. I might have a tolerance for risk that most people don't have. I'm not crazy. I'm not, I like the way this price is developing at this point though. 9:55. But it's dropping right back into this range. On the 5 minute chart, there is a gap between the low of this candle and the high of this candle. We just turned over and we've fell into this gap. This up close candle did not close above the prior up close candle. Okay, so we did not close above the prior 5 minute up close candle. This is the highest up close candle in this range. And eyeballing it, it looks like we're below mean threshold. That's the thing that I'm looking at. It's not giving me, even on the 5 minute chart, the indication that that's the system we're playing with here. On the 15 minute chart, oh now brown cow, red leather, yellow leather, yeah. Red leather, yellow leather. Now. I'm telling you, if you're not a talker, I'm not really a talker. I spend a lot of my time trying to be as quiet as possible. But you know, when it comes time to talk, sometimes I literally feel, you know how you lift weights and your muscles get tight, and then you're like, oh, I can't lift anymore. Yeah, sometimes I get that when I'm speaking. It's like, oh man, my whole face just tightened up with lactic acid. All right, so this 5 minute candle says, look, guys, this is what we're doing. We're not doing anything else. It's 9:57. We're going to get to a particular point by 10 a.m. Then we're going to discuss what happens after that. For the daily chart, we're coming into the opening price for yesterday. We're approaching yesterday's opening price. I'm gonna say yesterday's opening price was very close to yesterday's opening price was 19,524.50. We're at yesterday's opening price right here. Oh man. Oh, okay. We're at yesterday's opening price, yesterday's daily open. The high for yesterday is this level here, 528. Ooh. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Ooh, 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 ooh. And at what time is it? 9:57? Okay. No, I'm gonna have to be patient. I'm gonna have to be patient. This is a lovely place to enter for me. This would be a lovely place. On the 5 minute chart, our wick is sitting there right at the close of this 5 minute candle, just barely just touching right up here. Come on up higher. Come on up higher. Come on. Everything in me is saying, just put in the short right here. Everything in me is saying, just put in the short right here. This is where the short goes. 1 minute and 37 seconds left. 10 a.m. is popping off. The news is gonna hit us in a minute and 25 seconds. Mm. Oh yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Right? I don't want to front run the news. That's my thing, right? I keep saying it over and over. Don't front run the news. Don't front run the news. Why? Because I'm looking at the wick of yesterday's up close candle. I'm looking at the body of yesterday's candle. 52 seconds on the news and it's already kind of slidden back. We've gotten down below the opening price of the prior hour. That's these levels here. These are my levels that I would like to short at. That opening and the closing price of the prior up close hourly candle. The run that we just had that was sustained for just a little while took us into a gap above the 15-minute prior up close candle. Although it took us there for 15 seconds. 15 seconds. And I just really want to see the volatility of the news first. And then I want to take my piece. And then I wanted to go ahead and let that chill. Two, one. So here the news is coming through. News just came through. And uh, the news. Jolts was looking for 7.4. We came in at 7.19. Okay. Here's the volatility from the news. Here's the volatility from the news. What do I see on the 1 minute chart? What do I see on the 5? Okay. News volatility. Hmm. I'm going to take a quick look at the lower time frame and see if it's just going to begin to slide or whether or not it's going to begin to rise. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Slight push to the upside. Nice push to the upside. Nice. Nice. Okay. 1 minute candle is just opened. That's the low of the prior hourly candle. I attempted to sell that, but I do not think that I was able to get a good price. It is not letting me get out here. So I'm button. It just moved too fast for Trading View to let me close that out the trade. Okay. So let's see what happens. Now, why did I get short? Because it gave me all of the signals that I wanted to see, and that's fine. Then the news came out. We rallied to the high of the prior 15-minute candle. Let's see if we keep going. The high of the prior up close 15-minute candle was here. Then we turned over. Hmm. Hmm. Immediately stopped me up. Okay, so that's two quick trades that I'm looking at in with this particular bias. And I'm looking at the job openings, and job openings are lower than the expectation, and price just was rallying like this. So, um, that's not a good indication of where I think price is going. So I'm gonna chill for 2 seconds here. Again, like I said, I had such a good day yesterday that that's that's not a problem. I'm just chill. I'm just chilling with this. I'm just chilling, just chilling. Was extremely excited because that's one of the things that I found out about myself. I mean, one of the things I found out about me is that when news happens and I'm waiting for a particular time and it's sort of this sort of a countdown mindset, yeah, I can kind of get a little wound up. And that kind of causes emotions to flow. And if that's the case, then I really have to um right? I really have to say, okay, that's not it. That wasn't it. Okay, so now this is some weird stuff happening on the 1 minute chart. There we go. Last 2 seconds, then it finally pushes up above the high of the previous up close candle. Here we are at 10:04. Oh. Here we are at 10:04 into the gap and out. Mm-hmm. Into the body of this up close candle and down, then up a little bit higher. Mm, let it develop. What am I seeing right now that I'm dealing with? The wick of this candle that dropped down here. That's what I'm dealing with right now. The wick of this candle drops down into this gap because we came into this gap, went above it, and dropped down here, inversion, and now we've moved up here. We've come above these two relative equal highs. Now we're up above the high of this level. We're in the premium of London session. This red line represents yesterday's prior day high. And there's prior day high. Mm. Do I believe we were just coming up here to run the prior day high just a little bit, just sweep it? No, I would need better confirmation than just little push over the prior day high. Taking the liquidity out above the prior day high would be a great place for us to begin to change direction. But it looks like we may just very well just be more looking to take out all the highs here in this area and just to make a new high altogether. Hmm. So what did I see here that I did not pay attention to? What I did not pay attention to is I was looking at this very small hourly up close candle framed out with these two lines. But if I take a look at the close of the opening price of the down close candle, that opening price is here, right? The opening price is here. We'll take this and move this over here. We'll take this, move this over here. And when we closed above, that's what I missed. We closed above the prior up close candle. We opened here. We dropped down. Okay, sorry. I think it's easier to see here on a 5 minute chart. So 10 a.m. All right, 10 a.m. We close here. This 10 a.m. close is above the prior up close candle in this range, which closed high right here. So we closed higher up here, and then we opened, we dropped down into the prior down close, this long range prior down close candle to here, and then we moved up into inside this range overall. So yeah. The body of this up close candle for the prior hour, the body of the up close candle for the prior hour. Look how it's inside the high and the low of this down close candle, right? So we're inside that level. Then this up close candle goes above and below the prior down close candle. This candle closes above this up close candle. We open here, drop down, we tap this level that we've been looking at for 24 hours, and then we ran up immediately, straight off the news. Now, so price is moving fairly quickly and fairly directionally at this point. So I don't know exactly what I would do here. I don't really have a game plan for that. And this white line represents the daily up close. Is that right? Is this right? Daily up close. Daily up close. That's not to say right. I don't know what that. Yeah, I don't. I think I misrepresented this one. Trading too quickly. I mean, charting too quickly. Back to the 5 minute chart. And this is one of the reasons that we really admire those who trade consistently and are profitable. This is really the reason. It's not like hero worship or magic. It's literally like, watching your favorite golfer, right? Like how did he hit that putt from that far away? It was too late. It was too late to make that entry. Too late to make that entry. 10:10 a.m. It was too late to make that entry. It was bad. It's bad entry. You know, Let's go over here. See, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of it. Come on. 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in this 5 minute candle. We turn over, we pop up and slide. One of the things that I'm really wanting to do is I really want to improve my accuracy. I really want to improve my accuracy, but it's so strange for me trading, not even live, but trading in a live market with price moving around. With price moving around, it is extremely difficult for me to increase my accuracy. On this 1 5 minute candle, we pulled all the way back down here. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the 15-minute chart for it to close. See how this 1 minute candle just moved back up? Just a little bit inside this gap. Two minutes 18. And now I'm getting why a lot of people don't trade live on the internet. Because there's a certain level of honesty you always have to kind of maintain. You have to maintain this honesty with the viewer, which is predominantly yourself, and the market, which doesn't care about viewers at all. It seems dumb now, but it tapped my entry. That's a bad sign. Tapped my entry sign and ran it. Dang it. I'm down $1,000 already, and this is extremely frustrating for me. Mm. Extremely frustrating. All right. Okay. So what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, genius? What are we gonna do? Well, this is the first thing we're gonna do. All right. This is the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna let this 15-minute candle close. Yep, we're gonna let this 15-minute candle close. And once this 15-minute candle and this 5 minute candle close, then we're going to see where the market decides to take this next candle. It opens low, then we pop up to the previous close of the 5 minute candle. Then it drops down just a little bit. And hmm, do I believe we're going to see continuation here? I don't. I think we're just going to drop down just a little bit till we hit this down close candle. And that's fine. But that's just enough for me to interpret whether or not we're going to see, whether or not I'm going to be able to adjust my drawdown right now. Now, it can turn over in this range, But the question is, okay, well, if you turned over in this range, would you continue to the downside? The answer to that question is yes, and it continues to the downside. Now, this mitigates our drawdown to a greater degree. Will this price remain down there? I don't think so. I think we're just dropping down here to hit the high of this gap. So I'm saying to myself, adjust your stop loss just a little bit. Just the stop loss just a little bit. I'm keeping it tight. Why? Because I struggle so much to get into the trade. It doesn't make any sense for me to um exit so soon into a movement to the downside at 10:16 a.m. Could it just be a pullback for us to pop right back around and trade back to the upside? It could very well be. Or it could be a 15. That's exactly what it was right there. That's what it was. That's why I moved my stop loss. What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh man, I love it. 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 So we just this wick pops right back up here and hits that. What was that? Okay, so it seems that this is the type of stuff that I see right before we would make a move down. That would take a lot of people out of the down move trade. Mm, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Interesting. Interesting. That was really what we were really, really wild. That was really, really wild. So here, there, here, up. 50 seconds left in this minute. We trade up here. That takes all of that out. Then we trade back up into this area. Then we fail here. Then we turn over there. And my moving back what I just made on that last little trade. That's wow. I don't okay. I hate those. I hate those. I hate those because of that. I hate those because of that. Because sometimes they flash in the opposite direction and then it just says to you, oh, what's this, right? Let's see if we go into consolidation. Because this could be the issue. The issue could be we're about to go into consolidation. And all of this time I'm looking thinking, oh yeah, no, we're going a particular direction or we'd have a directional day. And then we're just setting up a day where we go into consolidation. And every time we move in one direction, we'll flip right back around and go back the other way. Reducing the risk on this trade. I don't like it. I don't like that. Because I mean, if we did all of that stuff to the upside and then we dropped down and we did all of this, I'm not interested in going back and forth with you. I'm not interested in that. You already had this crazy flash to the upside, making us all think that you were going to pop to the up. But then you just turned over and dumped on us. I'm not interested in back and forth today. See, and then we drop down to this level again aggressively, but I'm not interested in it. It's not going to go. We're going to consolidate. Nope, it's not going to go. We're going to consolidate. That's the problem. We ran up to this level. We hit it around 10. We had the low jolts news. We popped up, but then it's like, yeah, no, we're just going to go into a consolidation at this point. Price is this is what I call teasing a move to the downside. Second time we've been in this type of a move today. So it's not really getting us worked up. We've just dropped down to the body of the down close candles here on the 5 minute chart. So that's not getting us worked up. This does put us back into a better position. However, you see how poorly my entries are. My entries are so bad that I don't want to get out of this trade right now because there's no guarantee I could get back into the trade safely. Well, then you're saying, well, Grady, why don't you just mitigate your drawdown? Yeah, I know, but have you ever mitigated your drawdown on a day where it trends? It trends for the rest of the day, but you mitigate your drawdown, and then you look up and you say to yourself, "Ooh, I just should have stayed in." This answered the whole problem, not half the problem. So I don't want to answer half the problem here on this trade. But that's just a beautiful trade though. That's and I say it's beautiful, but look, that's the issue. So on the higher time frame chart, it's just a 5 minute pullback to the down close candles, right? 2 minutes 30 seconds could put us right back up to where we are now. Realistically, what should we do? We should just hold, do nothing, don't move anything, don't touch anything, don't do anything. Don't move anything, don't touch anything, don't do anything. If it goes in our favor, then it's going to go in our favor. If it comes against us, and then it's going to give us a clearer entry to probably go up for the rest of the day. We just need to get down below this red line and then move down further. But we come back to it and it says, no, we're not gonna proceed lower than this. Oh, whoa, whoa, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I think I am right. We traded into this imbalance on the lower time frame and then we rolled over and dropped down. Then we not closed down below this level. So this gap just serves to send us back down to these lower down close candles. Uh, We need to get down below this 1 minute and 10 seconds on the 5 minute chart. We need to get down below these levels. Is it possible? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're doing in price right now. I do know that this is a decent trade to get us out of the woods, and I don't want to move my stop loss because of that thought process. I'm watching this 1 minute chart. There's two up close candles right here, and we keep dropping down to the close of this down close candle on the one. In 23 seconds, we haven't broken past that. And I don't have much time left to consider it. Or should I just say, look, we did good so far. Let's get out of the woods. Let's see if we can get on the right side of this thing and not be too greedy thinking that we're just gonna sit in this trade all day and not have it come against us. For those who know how, they add it right there. For those who know how, they just add it right there. So that's not me. I wish. I'm working toward that. Now, new 5 minute candle just opened. This is the area where we must be the most careful. New 5 minute candle just opened. So we just took this high out, turned over, dropped back in. What do we want to see? Do we want to see any type of trading back to the upside, or do we want to see movement to the downside? I'm going to, I need to stop trading my P&L. That's the worst thing that I do. That's the worst thing that I do. 1 minute. You see how we closed above that candle? This is what I'm referring to. we went down below this down close candle, then we opened above it, put a slight wick to the upside, drop down in, you see? So it's indicating it's indicating a desire to move back to the upside. But how heavy is it? How heavy is this, right? How heavy is it? We just ran the prior day high, right? How heavy is it from running the prior day high? Um, um, what I'm really, I'm silly. I'm silly. This is what I should do. This is what I should do. I should get stopped out, right? I should get stopped out here. If I get stopped out here, this is where I should get stopped out. Doesn't that make sense? Why? Because that's break even on the day. That's my break even on the day stop out. I don't want to get stopped out here. I'd rather get stopped out like down here somewhere. You see how he keeps moving the stop loss back and forth? Well in profit. Not the top of stop loss that you learned at the very beginning, where you say to yourself, yeah, no, don't, yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, 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 no. Okay, here we are now. Do I believe we're going to run back up above this high? Or do I think we can target that level down there? If that's the case, then I am going to give you back some money. I'm going to give the market back some money voluntarily. How does that sound? Right? How does that sound? We're going to give the market money back voluntarily. We're up $300 on the day. But most of that is drawdown recovery. That's the bane of my existence. That's the thing that keeps me up at night. That's the thing I cry about. That's what I cry about. If anybody wants to know, that's what I cry about. I cry about most of my profit being absorbed with drawdown. A grown man don't shouldn't cry. Excuse me, what did I just say? I tell you, I cry about most of my profits being absorbed into drawdown. Break even stop loss. 6 seconds left in the 1 minute candle. I don't want to see. I don't want to see. I have to mitigate all the risk of having a large drawdown day. This day looks. If this goes down below that up close candle right now, this is an extremely heavy day, and we're going to see considerable movement today. If we come down below this down close candle and close off of that movement. Excuse me. No, I'm just dreaming. He's teasing me. You're just teasing me. Okay, okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you for teasing me. I enjoy a bit of teasing every once in a while. 10 seconds left in the 1 minute chart, and that is 10 seconds left in the five. Stop this out, and we are down 27. We're down $90. Yeah. So let's see here. We've been trading for an hour, taking too many trades. Now that the news is passed, I think we've kind of really calmed down in the market. On the 5 minute chart, is that a 5 minute fair value gap? Is that what that looks like to everybody or just to me? That we hit this level, drop down. Once we drop down, we created this imbalance. Or am I interpreting this wrong? I want to take this prior down close candle and pull it back just a little bit. I don't know why we're doing that. On the 1 minute chart, we just rose up above this up close candle. This candle's come into alignment with the prior close of this up close candle. I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure. Is it one of those day of inversions? Is that what we're doing? The day of inversions. Turned over here, dropped back in, dropped back down. Mm-hmm. It's a small little imbalance in here. Between here and here. Push down. Trade it back up to that tiny little gap right there. Sold that. Real tight stop loss. Bought that. Stop me out before turning over and going my direction. Mm-mm. We're running some type of a price. We're doing something different now. You see how price just went like every direction all at one time? Up and down, then up and down, then over and up and down. Yeah, 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 yeah. They mix right there. Got me in the mix right there. Now I'm down $500. This is still $383. This is crazy. And you're saying to yourself, man, but you just worked that drawdown. Yep, that's it. That's it. I saw a chart of all of the prop firm payouts recently. Hmm. And what I noticed is the steep decline between the top end and the low end, which means that among the most profitable traders, trading prop firms, there is a significant difference between the top end and um your average trader as far as payouts are concerned. I always thought that was extremely interesting. And on one hand, it made me feel um not sure what word to use. It was striking to me the outcomes, right? Because you would think of all of the thousands and thousands of traders that you would have um a significant number of them in a particular range, right? Let's say let's say the highest payout was 45 grand, right? You would think that there would be plenty of 30s, plenty of 20s, plenty of 10s, right? Let's say, oh yeah, there's one person who's able to have a top step payout of 50 grand, right? You would think, well, okay, yeah, well, the next guy has to be right behind them right at 40. Somebody else at 35, right? And there would just be this smooth curve in the payoffs. But it's not. It's a steep, very steep curve. Where a very, very small percentile of traders are able to do the level of trading where every time they sit down on the chart, they're making more than they're losing. It has to be the case. Because that means that somebody's making a $10,000 trade, and in order for them to have $1,000 withdrawal, which means that you would have to have $2,000 in your account, then they would make 10 grand at the high end and then lose 8 grand in order to qualify for the $1,000 payout. I'm not saying that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm saying that that's apparently the way that it is. We traded up above, we dropped down in, closed in this area, wicks, back up. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. Anybody like this? I'm down $300. So I'm really kind of settling into um the idea that this is not going to be clear and easy day. This is not going to be a clear and easy day. Not going to be, it's not going to be directional. It's probably going to be some sort of back and forth scenario. Did they let it go now? Because we've been moving to the upside smoothly. Very small candle wicks to the downside. We've just been trading in this one direction smoothly. So we see that. I was measuring the gap that we were trading through. We've made it through that gap, so that's okay. Here's that imbalance from the pre-market. We traded to the high of it, just dropped right down and touched it. Traded to the consequent encroachment of it, traded to the high of it. Now we're trading up. And it's just as back and forth on the higher time frame as it is on the lower time frame. It's equally as back and forth. We have a lot of overlapping price action for the last 3 days. In the last 3 days, the London session high has entered the prior London session. So there's no gapping between the London sessions. The lows and highs are all touching and overlapping. Is this prior day high? I believe that it is. We moved above the prior day high. That's why I found my entry. The first time that we've come back to it. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm, mm-mm, mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. The 15-minute chart, what does that look like? It looks like we just returned to this 15-minute high here. That should have been the close of the prior 15-minute candle. But, you know, TradingView's programming is so strange that when you click certain buttons in certain orders, other things happen unless you are ultra precise in the way that you use the keys to type on TradingView. Ultra precise. 6 minutes left in the 15-minute candle, and we just moved above the prior up close. And we turned over and trying to drop right back in. Back up above the prior up close. Snaking. Snaking. Up above, down below. Up above, down below. Oh boy. Oh, excuse me. That same level is also the opening price of that down close candle on the 15-minute chart. Could that level be used to move price higher? Yeah, sure it could. Down below that level we go. Back up to that level we come. Are we gonna go back above that level? Back to that level. Back above that level. Are we gonna go back above that level? Mm. Back above that level. See, this is interesting. Let's try back below that level. Musical chairs. Where we stop, no one knows. Yeah, now where we stop, no one knows. So this means that this means what? And I'm thinking about remaining profitable, right? Remaining profitable, making good, having good trading days, not becoming overconfident, not thinking that I'm going to do today what I did yesterday, right? Not thinking that, not thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna do today what I did yesterday. Not thinking that, thinking what I'm supposed to be thinking, which is this price action is just musical chairs right now. Price action is doing musical chairs, according to my strategy. So we're at prior day high. That red level is prior day high. The green level is the 15-minute prior up close here. Means that we're just trading to the wicks. This 15-minute candle wasn't able to close above this 15-minute candle. So the challenge that I'm watching for now is, can this 15-minute candle close above this one? The last 3 minutes, it breaks down below that level aggressively. It snakes. It snakes and snakes and snakes and snakes and snakes. Then breaks down to this level. This pullback that we see here on the 5-second chart. This pullback on the 5-second chart as we trade to consequent encroachment of that level, then blast through it. Right? These things happen. These things are happening. Then we drop down and we sit right on this. We sit right on this little low area, consequent encroachment, and we roll over. Now, mm, mm-hmm, 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 mm, mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Lower time frame issues. These are lower time frame issues. Are we going to drop back, hit this level, this down close candle wick, and then move higher? Right? That's the issue that we would have to deal with. Not that we made this pullback toward the end of the 15-minute candle, but right prior to the end of the 15-minute candle, we just turn over, we drop down, we hit this down close candle's wick, right near the opening price, and then we just springboard here right at the close, instead of us saying, "Oh wow, this 15 minutes candle's gonna close lower." It pulls back a little bit and then begins to rocket ship, or boom, 5-minute candle. We trade above the wick of the 5-minute candle and we roll over. On the 1-minute chart, you see any gaps? Do you see any imbalances? Have we traded to close any gaps or any balances on the what's the name of this chart? On the 1-minute chart. This gap here is 5 seconds. It's 5 seconds. But here on the 1 minute, you have that gap between price, and there's nothing there. Breakaway, we have this gap here on the 1 minute. So price is moving extremely fast right now. So at any time you're thinking, oh man, let me get involved. Now we're back down through these levels. We're at the consequent encroachment of this area. And I'm watching the 5-minute candle. That's what I'm watching. I'm watching that 5-minute candle. Because on the 5-minute candle, in the last 10 seconds of a 5-minute candle, anything can happen. You can watch a 5-minute candle go all the way down to the bottom of your screen. In 10 seconds, it'll be breaking all-time highs. Mm, mm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. New 5-minute candle. On a 5-minute candle, what I would love to see before it collapses, if it were going to move down, is I would love to see it trade up to some particular area before we move down, just to show respect to all traders everywhere. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. I don't like trading these types of markets. And people would say, why? Because you lost money? I believe that's the definition of the only reason a trader does not like. It's the only definition a trader uses to determine whether or not they like a market. When a trader says, "Oh, I don't like trading these markets," they mean that this market took my money. Oh boy. While I'm running my mouth, my concern is this small imbalance here. It's fine if we trade it back to that in the 5 minute. It's just right, but it's right at the high of the prior 5 minute candle close. We ran up above the close of the prior up close 5 minute candle, right? And we have a strong continuation. That's fine. I don't like trading these types of markets. Hmm. 1 second. I'm sorry. 10 seconds left on the 1 minute candle. And the weird thing is in the last 10 seconds, it decides to drop down below this up close range. Let's see if we close higher. Nope, we didn't. Now this one. Now we have a chance to open higher. Drop back in. A job here. You are doing your job, Jimmy. What do you mean? Just because you're not taking a trade doesn't mean you're not doing your job. Sometimes that is your job. Sometimes your job is to say, look, they are hypnotizing you with the price action. Yeah, look, it's like staring at a cobra, isn't it? Back and forth, up or down, back and forth, up and down. All of these candles are sharing the same space and haven't left each other. Up and down, forward and backward, down and down and up. We've gotten to this green level multiple times. That's that same 15-minute high. We snaked above it, below it, above it, below it, above it, below it, above it, below it, above it, below it. We snaked that level multiple times. We get close to it, then we pull away from it. We go above it, then we come back down below it. So I mean, it's like staring at a cobra, and it's just low. It's just lolling. It's just lolling. It's just lolling. Here on the 5 minute, we drop down to the high of this down close candle. Tap that level. We've opened, drop down into that down close candle once again, and then we tempted to break out of the high. If I'm going long, I can't go long at the high end of the range. If I'm going short, I'm literally must sell above this green line. That literally must be my area of selling. This area where we are now is in the middle of those two zones because I'm looking at this down close candle, thinking I must buy on the wick of this candle. I must sell in the wick of that candle. But Grady, but Grady, but Grady, what? We're still, yep, I know. We flashed back and forth with some decent range. There was some nice profit to be taken. All smart traders have left the market. They're, enjoying the rest of their Tuesday. Now it's upon, those of us who remain to be vigilant. I would like to short that gap. Yep, I would love to short this gap. I'm gonna give it 5 seconds. 5, 3, zoom, boom, boom, boom. New 5 minute candles just opened here. Now, this would be the buy area if I wanted to buy. When we drop down into the wick of this prior down close candle, the 1 minute chart, does that support it? Does that support that idea? Man, who knows? We finally did curl over at that 15-minute level. On the 15-minute chart, we closed much, much lower. We put a wick on this current down close candle back to that level again. We drop back down into the up close candle that's represented here. My caution represents my idea that I I'm looking for healer. $80. Nope, it's coming against me. For particular signatures. Close here. Touch there. I don't like how okay. I don't believe that gap is reliable. But I was looking for particular signatures to give me, direction here. Normally, I would use these higher time frame levels, 15-minute levels, to give me direction. But we have 8 minutes left in this hour. I tried to get short right here and I got stopped out. Now price is beginning to apparently descend before my very eyes. If this hour closes in 8 minutes, the next hour should run up into the wick of this candle. So should I wait, right? 10:52, 10:52 a.m. I think maybe that's the thing. We're in the macro. Didn't notice. Sorry. Did not notice. Did not notice, but we've been held at this particular price point for a minute. This sideways price action. Up and down, up and down. But it looks like you would think that it looks like it's failing because this moves down. This comes up, doesn't go above that. But then when this comes in, it doesn't go lower, right? It's the only problem. Mm, 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 mm. 7 minutes. Hard to maintain. Take my eyes off this chart for a couple seconds. Let this hour close. 629. On the 5-second chart, it looks like a gradual rise in price, as if the price is getting ready to push higher before we close. See? So I'm watching the hour. This is not the hour chart. I'm just watching this chart out of the corner of my eye. Last minute of the 5-minute candle. Then we press higher. Mm-hmm. See what I mean? When you take your eyes off the chart for just a second, then you start to see when you look back some sort of order. Why? Because we let all of this happen. We let all of that happen, then we drop back down to where we thought it was going to happen at first. Here, we thought, oh yeah, from here we're going somewhere, but it just came right back into this level, matched it, and now we're back here. What happened here the first time? Mm, we failed, right? We failed here the first time. We're gonna fail here again. No, right? I don't know. I don't know. Just watching the price action do its model itself. 5 minutes left now. New 5-minute candle. This is the last 5-minute candle of the hour. Do 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 do. Hmm. This is the main reason I did not like the 15-minute fair value gap um playing out in the pre-market. This is the reason I did not like it. I would have rather traded that. That's really what I wanted to see. But it played out just before the market opened. Then price hits that low, bounces, trades up into the primary, well, it trades up because there's two imbalances at the low of that below that 15-minute fair value gap. And then it just bounces up, trades past the first imbalance price range, turns over, drops right back into the second one. Okay. Then bounces up, closes up above the gap, drops down below the gap, closes on this down close candle, wicks down into the wicks and gap of that prior gap, moves up, takes out this 15-minute close that we just passed with the green line, drops all the way back down, comes back up, closes again, drops back into this pre-market fair value gap that we have right here, hits the consequent encroachment of that level here, trade away from it. No, 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 no. Trades back to it, then trades up above it. High, low, lower high, relative equal lows. Then we move to this level here. Yeah. Ah, boy. It's just interesting. We're coming into the closing hour. The high of this candle is at the close of the London session of the damn. Hmm. Boom. Let's see, how much time do we have left in this hour? Not much. Just want to kind of catch this drop down right before the hour closes. Sometimes we have a pullback right prior to the hour close. And see if I can stay in this if it allows me to. If it just really, really falls, that would be cool. If not, I'll just take out like $100 or whatever I can get out of here. $80, $40. Whatever the case may be. Just kind of scalping just this little small range right at the end of the closing hour. Stops me up. That's fine. Okay, we have 1 minute left in the close of the hour. Let's see if we push higher at the end of this hour. Take out this green level up here. Mm, mm, mm. Turns over. Wink. Here we go. 30 seconds left in this hour. 30 seconds left in this 5 minute candle. And it will be 11 a.m. Let's see if it's going to push and try to make a new higher high at this point. I mean, higher closing. 19 seconds. We're inside of the body of this up close candle here. There we go. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We failed to make a new higher up close, higher hourly candle, but we open with this little wick down. That's all we get. A little wick down. Hmm. I wonder what are you gonna offer us here? What are you gonna offer us here? Mm-hmm. Is there a model? Hmm. Nice. Okay. Nice. 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 Okay, that's the higher the prior hour right there. Right. Let's touch that high level right there. Mhm. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Whoa, 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 what's happening here? Whoa, 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 whoa. A little bit of a pullback right here at this level. I think there's just a little bit of resistance before we break through. We might just want to put a wick on this hour. This is a brand new hour, the 11 a.m. hour. Might just want to put a wick on it. So let's watch that real closely. I mean wick. What I mean, what I'm saying wick, but I actually mean tail. Hmm? Interesting. Hmm? These long down close. These long, these long little down close candles here. That's sort of the right. Mm, mm, mm. Hmm? What? Hmm. 1 minute left in the five. Nope. 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 I don't really see anything. I know that we just took the prior high. We know we just ran into the premium of London. We have not closed above that up close candle. We just put another wick up there. We did trade into this little gapping areas up here. Hmm. It's a huge range for me. It's a lot more risk than I would normally like to take on. Whoa, it's crazy. Look at this 5 minute candle, bro. Look at this, bro. What did we just do? Look at this. Look at this, bro. Oh, look at this, bro. What are we doing, bro? Mm. Whew. It was very quick, short-term little play. That was quick. Oh, it made me nervous. It made me nervous. Thought I was missing something that was really just amazing right before my eyes, and then he just turned right back and said, "Oh no, 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 no. We're not doing all that." 33, 30, 30, 33 minutes and 17 seconds left in this 5 minute candle. Hmm. We're touching this red line like this. Thank you. Thank you. Don't do that. Because it's a false positive. It's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for particular signals to before I make my entry, right? And it's literally giving it to me like, yeah. Oh. Fall for it again. I have to. I just keep falling for it over and over and over. Keep falling for it. Stick me right out. Keep falling for it over and over again. Go ahead and take your 100. Nope. You won't let me have it. You see? You see the back and forth price action? So many of my worst trading days happen. Many of my worst trading days happen in this spot where I'm in a gap here. It's over and a nice move to the downside. I come into it. I'm looking to get involved. It's offering me what I think is a direction, but because of its natural, because it's natural, because of the way it's programmed, the way it looks, like I short circuit, right? I short circuit looking at it like this. So how do you feel now about it, right? Trade up above this up close candle. We trade back down below, right? So we're down below this little red line again. Up. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? 4 seconds left in the 5 minute candle. Ooh, I had my entries ironed out 2 weeks ago. I was taking 3 trades and walking away from the market. I don't know what changed. Something changed. And it's not the market. I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about the market. I'm talking about me. Something changed. So we dropped down below this 1 minute candle here. We traded up to this top up, boop up. We touched that. We rejected it. Came back in. 9 seconds left in the 5 minute candle. It's counted to the downside. 2, 1. Oh, that's good. That's good. Watching this down close candle's body. Mean threshold. We haven't closed below it. 3, 2, 1. We closed below mean threshold. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. 11 seconds left in this minute. Ah, maybe too much caffeine in my system. Huh? Two minutes left in the 15-minute candle. We just dropped down below this 5-minute close. Turned over. Hate scalping. Really do. Gap. Drop down. Turned over. I hate scalping, but it looks like I'm gonna do it because I rack up so much drawdown trying to just get it, get $100, get $200 here to really just go against my just to put my account into profit. I hate doing it because I think for me it's too much mental strain to get me to get back in groove with the price over and over and over like that. 6 seconds left on this 5 minute on this 1 minute candle. Five, four, three, two, one. We move up. We move up. Is that all we're gonna move up? Oh, of course. That's all we're gonna move up. We're not gonna move up more than that. Hmm. We move up to the low of this prior up close candle. There's the middle of that candle. Not unbroken. That touch was mean threshold of that candle. New 5 minute candle just opened. I would expect to see us at least to the low of this up close candle. Somewhere maybe in this wick, if we're going down. But it's hard to say whether or not because it's such a strange price movement today. Sorry, sorry, zoned out just a little bit. Price is really heavy, then this is where I would imagine that it was going to fail. When we came up here, we couldn't get up there. And we traded back up to this high candle, but now we trade into the little gap right up above it. Yeah, I sold that. You hear my voice? You hear the tone of my voice? The tone of my voice is saying that price has remember what it started to wear me down in a particular way of just going back and forth so much and had me kind of looking at the price move back and forth so much that it's almost like it's telling me whatever I do to you, trader, whatever I do, just, it's, you should expect that that's just the way it's supposed to be, right? Reduce this drawdown and reduce this risk on this trade. And that's kind of the part that I really truly dislike about days like this, that it did not go down below the low of this candle. So we don't have continuation like we would expect normally. But we have a decent amount of trade here. Now, this is the sad part. I have to look at my drawdown again and say, what can I do here, right? What can I do? Really, what can I do here? The only thing I can do is just bring my trade to break even. That's the only thing I could do is bring my trade to break even and sit. This is the only thing I can do. But this is the work. And this is what a lot of people don't understand about the business of trading is that this is the work. The work has nothing to do with, rolling dice or whatever. The work of trading is dealing with the marketplace and the struggles that come along with it in a way that, most people can't deal with. I'm at $42. Most people can't deal with back and forth, the uncertainty, the unusual, the ridiculous, right? Like the ridiculousness of it sometimes. And I'm still holding this trade, and this is the ridiculous part. The ridiculous part is you're thinking to yourself, hey, bro, if you exit right here, if you exit the market right here, you'll be flat on the day. You call it flat. You come back tomorrow, start from scratch, right? You was up $42. Exit the market here, exit the market now. I get that. I get that. I get it. I get it. And it's right. That's the right thing to do. Is that what I'm going to do? No, because I have to watch this interaction to see whether or not this is where more advanced traders are adding because of the time of day. Because of the time of day, we have this type of a pullback. I'm saying to myself, more advanced traders, more successful, more profitable traders are looking at this and they're adding here and they're adding here to the move down in the same places where I'm thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I need to get out, right? $50 up, $2 up, $50 up, $7 down, $40 down, $17, 47. So this is it. This is the deal. And I really would hate to end the stream right here in the middle of this trade. Um, but it is, it's a working day, basically. It's a working day. And I'm watching this on the 15-second chart to see if we can move down below this level. Or maybe price loosens up and really just starts to go somewhere. It's a possibility. Very slim possibility. Very slim. So I'm going to pull my stop loss down to here, to the high of this gap, body of this candle, and then I'm going to let this trade play out. I'm gonna let it play. We drop down into this gap again. So you see, they see the issue. The issue is the market keeps making these gaps and then keep retrading to down and then retrading back up, retrading back down, trading back up. And you know what it looks like? It looks like the sad part for me would be this. Would be the sad part. Now we'll have to come to a higher time frame to see it. The sad part would be maybe like on a 10-minute chart. The sad part would be if we um created this low, created this imbalance, and it created this inversion, and then we moved up through this level, dropped back into this zone here, traded off this down close candle, and then moved up aggressively from this point. That would be part that I would have the most that would be the most interesting to me to see. Um it seemed like we traded into this gap and we moved back down just a little bit, but London session, we closed below that up close candle. We put a wick up here. That's the highest candle and the highest up close hourly candle in the London session. This candle from, I believe that's the Asian session. We don't break that high in the Asian session. So this is the high of day, I believe, on the daily chart. And then we begin to descend here. And it's possible that we could, where did they open it? That's the issue. Where's the opening price for today? The opening price for today is 19,478.25. 19,478.25 is down here. Okay. Okay, now that we've hit this down close candle, now I'm looking to exit, being up $342 on the day. Almost being up $100 on the day. Now it looks like reversal time. So now I'm pulling my stop loss down to this 50% level. Why? Because on the 1 minute chart, um, I said 15S. Because on the 1 minute chart, we just left this area. And if we come back into the zone and uh, retest it or retouch it or pass back through it, then I definitely wanted to get out this trade. Coming back to this gap and just putting this right here, that's fine. But do I want to see anything more than that? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want to see us coming back up here. I want to see us failing right here and moving back down. And we're not going to. Because I think that scenario that I just played out verbally was more along the lines of what really might happen. Because this candle would have to just flush. We would just have to flush. Now we're coming back down look close to that level. 730, 725, 750, 760. It's hard for me to stay in this, although I really want to. It's hard for me to stay in it, but I really, really want to stay in this trade. I really, really want to stay in it, but it's hard to do. We've come back into this level again and almost rejected this level again. We have to get down below this level here. 12 seconds left on the 5 minute chart, and that's going to tell us what type of 5 minute candle that this really is. 3, 2, 1. This was a bearish 5 minute candle. Now, the next 5 minute candle, after we came back up with these 2 wicks and overlapped in this zone, now the next 5 minute candle has the responsibility of taking out this low. At which time I'm gonna move the stop loss down to this point, if this candle can take out that low. But what do we have down here on the lower time frame? We have consolidation inside of a down close candle over here. So we touched that wick of that down close candle, and now price is just going back and forth, back and forth. So we could get stopped out here, which would just have us leaving the market with a small amount of drawdown. Not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's not what we really want to see, but it's not bad. It's just that if we got going at this point, that would be good. Man, I'm doing a lot of chart moving and a lot of chart shaking and a lot of chart touching, which everybody says don't do, right? Everybody says, look, be sure about your trade, put your trade on. But this is one of those things that I do to kind of stay engaged in price. What I've learned about down close candles is that they're very tricky. much more so than up close candles. It's very rarely you'll get into a long trade, me personally, that I'll get into a long and then we hit a up. Well, no, actually, that's not true. That's not true. That's kind of where I became aware of this idea is un run into an up close candle that represented a bearish order block, not being aware that of how bearish order blocks operate. Here we go. It's gonna stop us out very quickly, which puts us in about $300 drawdown, $200. Could have went break even, could have went profit and closed the day out up $300, but we did not. If anything, it's bad trading, I guess you would say. Okay, there's 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the 15-minute candle, and then we just popped right back up from this low that we created at the beginning of this hour. This will conclude the first 30 minutes of the current hour that we're operating in, and it seems like our low of this current hour is here. Low of the current hour is here. 15 minutes is closing in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Oh, actually, it's closing in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We pressed up through this level quickly. We're down roughly $200 flat, which is really one trade. And the only thing that is concerning right now is the quality of entries that we've had today. The quality of entries have been terrible. Hmm. All of the price action that we just endured, we just went through from here to here, has been at the closing price of the power down closed 15-minute candle, which is this green level right here. We traded down below the close of that 15-minute candle to create this little swing down, swing low. Now we're passing that price on the 15-minute candle going the opposite direction. Fifteen-minute candle closes in 30 seconds. Now you have this 15-minute bow that looks like this. We've returned to the wick of the prior down close candle here. There's a gap right here on the 1 minute chart. This down close candle has closed, oh man, roughly in line with the prior one. The new 15-minute candle has just opened. So we have two down close 15-minute candles. We just rose to the close of that prior down close candle, which is strange. This is the close of the 15-minute candle we just closed. Now we're in the middle of the hour, which is something to keep in mind. Drop down into the imbalance that we create on the 1 minute chart. Mm, down close candle. We touched that down close candle. We popped up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right on the top of this down close candle here. We drop down into the body of this down close candle. Drop down to the body of this down close candle. We're watching that. We're watching this. We're in the body of this down close candle here. And we just drop down here into all of this, pull that across. This boy just did. Just like that. You see that? See, I was looking at this little gap down here to see us run down below that, but it's possible that we would. But then there's this little gap right here that we had been trading to with these lows as we tapped into this spot right here, which is like down below the low of this wick right here. Then we dropped in and down to the wick of this down close candle right here at the beginning of this 15-minute candle. Now, the only thing we can do is just continue to watch to see if we get the movement up past all of this or if we just collapse and come on down. I have quite a range here, like two, three, $400. I really don't like that, but we have a little bit of movement to the upside. Hold on to your britches now. Hang on to your butts. Nope, that's not it. That's not what I wanted to see. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. What should I do? Cut it short or let it play? Cut it short or let it play? Cut it short or let it play? Right now, I'm watching the closing price of this 1 minute candle. We just swept it. And I'm looking for rejection at that price. And it's not giving it to us. Stop them out. Stop them out. Small gap down here, right? Well, all right. Well, that's it for today. I'm gonna don't do that. 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 Please don't do that. Please don't do that. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it for the rest of for today, for the live stream. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out or watching. Please like and subscribe. Um, please like and subscribe. Please, is there anything else we can do? Come back and watch another trade, watch another blah 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 with us, and you know what I'm saying. Talk to you later.